The worst things for anybody, the patient, are the head injuries, because without our heads and our brains we are really nothing. So that's the fights, the people who are knocked to the ground, the king hits. We see people who run out in front of traffic and get hit by cars because they're drunk. We see so many assaults between testosterone, alcohol-fueled, for no reason at all. But the really worst ones come later in the night, where there's one person and for whatever trigger, sometimes there's no perceivable trigger, a mob, a group of people punch, kick, stomp on the patient when they're down and unconscious. We see some horrific injuries. All of them with families, all of them with futures, forever altered by a single senseless act of violence.
We will never forget our darling Thomas. We will never stop missing him, and our lives will never be the same.
I want Thomas's short life to have some meaning in his death, so we can see change, a new, fresh start. One where I believe we should have respect for one another, for our friends, family, acquaintances, different cultures and complete strangers. I want to see the values in relationships where having fun with friends on a night out means just that, existing without the need for excessive drinking, where any violence is totally unacceptable in our society. It's my generation and yours. It's ours. To begin this conversation at home, across the dinner table, in our schools, our universities and amongst peer groups. You too can be a messenger of change.
I think if everyone recognises that there's security and you cannot get away with this, the police now have your faces on camera and you just can't get away with it anymore, and it'll make people think twice.
With parents Ralph and Kathy Kelly looking on, Madeline Kelly, along with fellow Foundation member Chris Lee, handed over a new surveillance camera to Sydney City Council on Friday. The Kellys' hope is that these cameras will act as a real deterrent to drunken violence and mindless thuggery.
I think it's the beginning, to be honest with you. It's the start of a progress. So working with the government and the City of Sydney to actually make change, behavioural change in youth, to say it's not all right to pre-fuel before you go out and hit people because you can't get into a nightclub. And at the other end of the evening at 3 o'clock in the morning, it's not all right to fight because you've been drinking all night.
Last night we watched these guardian angels in action. In conjunction with the Thomas Kelly Foundation, around 60 Salvation Army volunteers patrolled the streets of Sydney, looking out for people in need of a helping hand. Right from the start, you just know what sort of New Year's Eve these kind souls are going to endure.
It's going to get really busy up until around 12, 1 o'clock as people then start to peer out of the city.
Please, someone tell me where the closest toilet is.
Yes, right there.
But no matter how annoyingly drunk you might be, these guys are there with a bottle of water or some new shoes to get you home.
They've got sore feet, they're probably feeling a bit groggy in their head, so look, if we can help them feel a bit more comfortable or help get them home in the right direction, I think it's the small stuff, but hopefully that's intervening before things go to a really bad place.
But the angels wear Thomas Kelly's initials. The message is, take care. The last words Ralph and Kathy ever said to their son.